Well, to the majority of thinking Australians, Peter Dutton has already emerged as a breath of fresh air. He said on Monday that the Liberal Party, or Liberals, had become, quote, estranged from big business. He didn't mess about. His comments weren't new. Back in 2018, he spoke about the rise of, quote, political correctness within the business community, unquote. How else do you explain a bank not lending money to the Port of Newcastle because it exports coal? He talked in 2018 about blaming activist shareholders and investment funds for pressuring the Commonwealth Bank, Woolworths and BHP Billiton to adopt policies on climate change. Well, that was 2018. Today is 2022, and an activist shareholder at the 180-year-old power operator AGL has forced a humiliating backdown. Mr Cannon-Brookes likes to describe AGL Energy as our biggest polluter. Presumably carbon dioxide, to Mr Cannon-Brookes, is a pollutant, even though it's the source of all plant life. And so in the wake of the backdown, Mr Cannon-Brookes boldly proclaimed, quote, there's a huge movement towards climate and going green in Australia. Last week's election was clearly a massive stand for that, unquote. If you read between the lines, this is all about forcing AGL Energy to close its coal plants sooner. Of course, Mr Cannon-Brookes would believe he had the new Albanese government on side because they're talking about boosting the share of renewables in the national electricity market to 82% by 2030, nearly triple the current level, which is nothing but pure fantasy. Already, the Australian Energy Regulator has indicated that household electricity bills will increase by up to $290 a year on an average household electricity bill of $1,600. So when Cannon-Brookes says he wants AGL to close all its coal plants sooner, that means pre-2030. He's talking about Liddell and Bayswater in New South Wales, Loy Yang A in Victoria, Torrens Island in South Australia, Barker Inlet in South Australia, Somerton Power Station in Victoria, though that's powered by gas, all to close. And miraculously, renewables will pick up the slack. Is that really the agenda? Is that why the new government is going to stump up your money, at least $20 billion, to rewire the nation, their words, that is, to get all this renewable energy onto the grid when they get the renewable energy? Long before Cannon-Brookes came along, we had this fellow Maurice Strong, the founder of the UN Environmental Programme, the father of the climate change movement, a man denounced in death. I might add, when all this alarmism began, he argued, this Maurice Strong, quote, we may get to the point where the only way of saving the world will be for industrialised civilisation to collapse. Isn't it our responsibility to bring this about? That's Maurice Strong.